I started building my first mobile game, Block Unlock Picture Puzzles, back in December 2025. And honestly, I had no idea how long it was actually going to take. I thought I would build the game, polish it up, put it on the App Store, and then move on to the next thing. But what really happened was I launched it, learned a ton, reworked huge parts of the game, changed the screenshots, changed the marketing, added new modes, tested it with friends and family, and slowly started figuring out what the game actually needed to become. So in this video, I want to share what I learned building and launching my first mobile game, especially for anyone else who is trying to make their own app or game. And then I'll show you what Block Unlock looks like. I started working on Block Unlock in December 2025. By early January, I had uploaded it to Apple, and at that point I thought the game was mostly done. But over the next several months, I kept realizing there were things that needed to be better. The gameplay needed more clarity. The screenshots needed work. The store page needed work. The game needed stronger reasons for people to come back, and I needed better feedback from real players. I used my family and friends as test players, and slowly, through watching them play and listening to their feedback, I started to understand what was fun, what was confusing, and what needed to change. The version I have now is much closer to what I originally hoped the game would be. But it took a lot longer than I expected to get there. One of the biggest things I learned is that your App Store page matters a lot more than you might think. When I first launched, I mostly treated the screenshots and description as something I just needed to finish so I could submit the app. That was a mistake. The screenshots, the app name, the subtitle, the keywords, the description, and even the first few seconds of a gameplay video all matter. That's what helps people understand what your game is. And more importantly, that's what helps them decide whether they want to try it. From what I've seen, when you first launch, the app stores may give your app some initial visibility. They're trying to understand how people respond to it. Do people tap on it? Do they download it? Do they keep it? Do they engage with it? And if your page doesn't clearly communicate why someone should care, you can lose a lot of that early opportunity. That's basically what happened to me. I got some downloads early on, but I hadn't really figured out how to explain the game yet. My screenshots weren't strong enough, and the page didn't clearly show what made Block Unlock interesting. So now I'm still working to earn more traffic and get more people to discover the game. My advice to anyone launching a mobile game is this: don't treat your App Store page as an afterthought. Before you launch, spend real time on your screenshots, your gameplay video, your app description, your keywords, and your overall message. Get feedback on them. Ask people what they think the game is just from looking at the screenshots. Because if people can't understand your game quickly, they probably won't download it. Another thing I learned is that even after you launch, your game can still change a lot. Block Unlock started as a relaxing picture puzzle game, and it still is. But over time, I realized it needed something more competitive and repeatable, so I added a daily challenge mode. Now players can compete each day for the top spot on a leaderboard. That changed the feel of the game in a really good way. The puzzle mode is still there for people who want a more relaxed experience, but the daily challenge gives players a reason to come back, improve their time, and compete. That was not part of my original plan. It came from playing the game, watching others play it, and slowly realizing what would make it better. So another lesson I'd share is be willing to rethink your game. It's okay if the first version is not the final version. Sometimes you don't really know what your game needs until people are actually playing it. Getting the game onto Android also took longer than I expected. I set up a personal account in Google Play Console, and for my account, I had to go through a testing process before I could fully launch the game. That meant getting a group of people to test the app for a certain amount of time before I could move forward. And honestly, I didn't know many people with Android devices, so that became its own challenge. I had to figure out how to get enough Android testers, keep the test going, gather feedback, fix issues, and then answer questions about what I learned during testing. In the end, that process actually did help me improve the game. But it also added a lot of time. For me, getting the Android version ready and through the process took around 2 months. I'll probably make a separate video about how I handled that, especially because I didn't personally know a lot of Android users. But the short version is, before you plan your launch timeline, make sure you understand what Apple and Google require. Because building the game is only one part of the process. Launching it is its own project. Anyway, that's the story side of it. Now let me show you what Block Unlock actually looks like. Here's the main menu. There are 2 main ways to play. You can play the daily challenge, which is more competitive. Or you can play the regular puzzle game, where you complete puzzles to reveal hidden pictures. Let's start with the daily challenge. When you open the daily challenge, you see the leaderboard right away. The goal is to get the best score possible. A perfect score is 1,000. But if multiple people get a perfect score, then the time matters. So it becomes a mix of playing smart and playing fast. Here's how the game works. You have a board up above, and you'll notice small dots on the grid. Your goal is to place blocks onto the board in clear lines. When a row or column is completely filled, that line clears. And when those spaces clear, the dots go away. To finish the challenge, you need to clear all the dots from the board. So it has that familiar block puzzle feeling, but the goal is different. You're not just chasing a high score. You're trying to solve the board. Some spaces have locks. Locks make the puzzle more interesting because they have to be cleared twice. The first time you clear a line with a lock, most of the line clears, but the locked space stays. Then you have to clear that space again to remove it completely. That adds another layer of strategy, because sometimes you have to plan around those locked spaces. If you run out of moves in the daily challenge, you still have options. You can take a penalty and continue playing. Or you can undo your last move and try placing the block somewhere better. Your score is based on how many times you run out of moves. So if you can finish without taking a penalty, that's a perfect score. One important part of the daily challenge is the holding area. Down by the blocks, there's a spot that says drag here. You can drag one block into that area and save it for later. That might seem small, but it can completely change how you solve the challenge. Some daily challenges are designed so that you really need to use that holding area well. It gives you one extra layer of strategy and can be the difference between finishing perfectly or running out of moves. Now let's look at the regular puzzle mode. When you open the puzzle game, you can choose from different picture levels. For example, here's the Arctic Ocean level. Underneath all these numbered puzzle pieces is a hidden picture. Each puzzle you complete reveals part of that picture. So as you keep solving puzzles, the image slowly comes together. The puzzle gameplay is similar to the daily challenge. You still place blocks, clear lines, and try to remove all the dots from the board. But the regular puzzle mode is more relaxed. There's no leaderboard pressure, and there's no holding area like in the daily challenge. As you play, you can also earn coins. If you run out of moves in puzzle mode, you can either restart the puzzle, or if you have enough coins, you can spend coins to continue. The goal is to keep solving puzzles until the full picture is revealed. Block Unlock also has daily rewards. When you come back each day, you can earn rewards and build a streak. After a 10-day streak, you can unlock a locked level for free. That's one way I tried to make the game feel rewarding for players who come back regularly. So that's Block Unlock Picture Puzzles. It's my first mobile game, and building it has taught me way more than I expected. I learned that making the game is only part of the work. You also have to think about the App Store page, screenshots, videos, keywords, testing, feedback, launch timing, and how players understand the game in the first few seconds. I'm still improving it, and I'm still trying to get more people to discover it, but I'm proud of how far it's come. If you try it out, I'd genuinely love to hear what you think. And if you're building your own game, hopefully some of what I learned helps you avoid a few of the mistakes I made. Links are in the description.